Hey everyone, I hope that you're doing fantastic. So I'm not sure if I'm going to upload this or not. And my lighting in here isn't very good. And I wanted to stand up as I was recording here. So some of you all know that I like to get on here and read scripture. So if this did get uploaded, if you're brand spanking new, first of all, welcome. I'm not churchy. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual, and I've had an awakening, and I do know who my Elohim is, and he is the maker of heaven and earth, and he's Jehovah. And I know what lineage that I come from and all that kind of stuff. So I'm come from the house of Jacob, which is Hebraic, not Jewish. But that is my lineage, and I keep the Shabbat, and I keep the commandments, and I love the Most High, and I love you as my neighbor, as myself, and all that kind of stuff. And so anyway, if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. That's your business. But this is who I am. I'm just telling you, if you are brand spanking new. I do readings on this channel, and I just let the Spirit just speak expressively to me. And whatever he wants to speak about, I just let him speak, because he knows everything. And so, but anyway, I'm going to try to read this. Earlier today, I was really flubbing up on my reading. I've just had some strange type of energy come through me today, and it is what it is, I guess. But something just compelled me to just read this. So I'm going to. So if it touches you, it does. If it convicts you, it convicts you. Conviction is not always easy. But it's necessary for you and I to understand that we must yield to the Most High, because we are the potter, or he is the potter and we are the clay, and he gets to mold us and he gets the say. Today I did a second reading. Actually, let me just sit down here. I did a second reading on one of my primary channels, and we had some profound energies that was coming out in those readings. And get this up here. I sat down today and was just listening to the Most High and just allowing him to speak, as I always do, and just was listening into my spirit, and was going into the scripture, and just allowing the word to cleanse me. We're told that the word is like water, and it does cleanse us. It's also like a fire shut up in our bones, and it purifies us as well. And I wrote down some scriptures today on an already made homemade deck that I had. And on the second reading, I had a couple of similar energies coming out on that second reading, and I kept that reading locked. But one of the scriptures that came out was talking about how Jehovah's wisdom leads in the way of righteousness, and in the midst of the path of judgment. And we are in the judgment. We know that the 20 goes to the judgment, right? Now, I used to have a deck of cards that stated that we were in the last judgment, that this was the last time. And actually the New Testament tells us that as well, that this is the last time, which, thank God. I mean, because we got the earth has just become so wicked in a lot of ways, and if we're not standing in a place of righteousness, it's dangerous. I told yesterday on one of my general readings that Noah preached for 100 years that it was going to rain, it was going to rain, it was going to rain, and we've got evidence of whole cities and things like that under the ocean. Okay, and I told on that reading how when Noah was preaching that it's going to rain, it had never even rained before. People didn't even know it was, and yet he heard from the Most High. And the commandments is hearing the Most High. And we're told that, Jeremiah said that they had falsified the law and everything like that, and they did. And Jeremiah tells us it's the voice that we hear. We have to follow the voice. That's what Abraham did. He followed the voice, right? But we do have the commandments. And I spoke today about how Solomon told us that the whole duty of man is to keep the commandments. There's only 10 of them. And you just keep 2 of them, you're keeping all 10 of them. Okay? It's not hard to, I guess if you're wicked, it's hard for you. You want to lie, cheat, and steal, and do all that crap, I guess. But it's not really hard to love Jehovah. And he didn't want people to be robots. He wanted people to choose him. And it's my pleasure to choose my Father in heaven, my Abba, because he's beautiful. And the church has done, for far as I'm concerned, I feel like the church is, not all of them, because there are good people that go into church, but the devil goes there too. But for the most part, we've just really lost who the Most High is. And many of you guys know that I got persecuted for doing the work that I do on this channel. But I was sitting today with the Divine, and it was just like, I thank him for the work that he's given me on this channel. I'm reaching people that will never ever go into a church building ever to hear the Most High's word. And we got scripture itself stating that he would teach our hands how to war, and he would teach us how to teach sinners in the way. And we've all been a sinner at some time of our life. We've had to learn somewhere. And not everybody's the same. Even Paul talks about how different people, some people are like the eyes of the body. Some people are like the hands. Some people are like the feet. I mean, we're all different. And until we get out of the box and allow the Divine to say, will you mold me? I'm the clay, you're the potter. Whatever you say, I'm going to hear and I'm going to go that way. Then until only then, people will quit being so, you're going to go to hell if you do this, or, oh, well, righteousness don't sound that way. Well, truth is righteousness. Truth of who the Most High is, loving him and listening to what he says, and being kind to your neighbor, and doing good business and uprightness, and telling the truth. And if you fall down, get up. That's what love is, okay? And choosing that way, okay? And church has gotten, just to me, out of hand. Okay, and I'm touching people that would never ever go into those places. Yet I've been persecuted. But all day long they want to kill the prophets, right? So the word is still the same. And anyway, but we're told that but wisdom is being connected to leading us in the way of righteousness, uprightness. It gives us righteousness. It's in the paths of judging something, a judgment. We had a judge come out today in one of my readings, and we all must look in the mirror and judge ourselves. And then when we have the full wisdom, if the Divine does tell us to go and not be judgmental, there's a big difference. There's a fine line, but we're actually told in the New Testament that when we need to go to somebody, we need to go in meekness. Lest we ourselves fall into that very, very thing as well. And a lot of times people want to point the finger and say, well, you just know. You should be doing that. And then it's just like, no, that's not, you ain't going to receive anybody like that. You're just not. I used to be one of those type of people. And that's why I can get up here and talk so boldly, because I've walked a lot of this stuff out. And because there's a lot of people out there like that. There's a lot of people out there like that don't go to church, but they're just like that just in general. Would just tell you what to do, but they wouldn't take their own advice. And that's true. But anyway, this is one of the scriptures that had come out talking about how wisdom leads us in the way of righteousness, and the path of judgment is there. That he says that he may cause us to inherit substance and find our treasure, the treasure that people have stolen because of their wickedness. Now, another scripture that had come out was talking about envying. And I've talked about envy before. I have it written down. I can't talk today. Please be patient with me, guys, because I really, for 2 videos, I felt like I was, I don't even know how to explain what I'm feeling. It's just such a strange energy today. It's not really a bad energy. It's just I feel goofiness. And that's the best word I guess I can come up with what I'm feeling. It's like I'm having a hard time speaking. One of the readings that I was trying to do the intro, I felt like I was running and trying to catch up with. It's like the spirit on the inside of me. It's like I'm at peace, I'm at rest, but there's like an excitement in me. I don't know how to explain that to y'all. But envy is a rottenness to the bones. It's dangerous to envy anybody, but we got it out there. We got it out there in the world. And one of the scriptures that came out on one of these readings that I did was the scripture that states that that warns us and tells us not to envy the oppressor. Well, I was really led to write this down today because I have been so oppressed for 3 years. People watching me and putting me on a watchtower just to see how I would. That's cruelty. That's not the ways of the Most High. And the Most High said today that He was going to break the chains of the wicked, of the devil today. And somebody was saying in that reading, just stop it now, okay? Because enough is enough is enough. We're told not to bring a burden in on the Shabbat, the Sabbath, and there's been a burden around me from others brought in for the last 3 years, and that's dangerous. It's dangerous. And other people have gotten in and held hands with the enemy and sitting back, and groups of people getting up on their internets and watching somebody cry and whatever you guys are seeing on the other side, or whatever's been cut and sliced and whatever you're allowed to see, I don't know, but it's not been nice. And the scripture that came out stated that to envy not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. For the froward is an abomination to Jehovah, but his secret is with the righteous. And that's true. And people are going to have rottenness in their bones if they don't stop and release and quit oppressing people, especially on the Shabbat. This is His day. This is His day. I mean, I guess I'm talking to people who don't give a rip. I guess I've been talking to people who don't give a rip, but you should. You should, because the divine's standing up now. The word which came to Jeremiah from Jehovah, saying, arise and go down to the potter's house, and there I will show thee and cause thee to hear my words. Then I went down to the potter's house, and behold, he wrought a work on the wheels. The wheels. I told on this channel that I had asked the divine, show me your will, show me your will. Way before I ever knew anything about the Zodiac. And he showed it to me in a way that got me persecuted. Because his ways are our ways, people. And I've taught on my channel how energy will express itself in every form that it can. And my house, if we're looking at the Zodiac, I come from the house where the wheel is found. It's profound to me. But I opened the scripture up today and asked the divine to speak to me, and this is what he gave me when I opened it up. He said, well, go on down to the potter's house, and there I will cause you to hear my words. So here I am on the wheel. Which is his hand, by the way, and it came out twice today. And then he gave me scripture about his strong right hand. It's the yod, is the wheel. It's amazing to me. So his potter's hand. We are like clay in his hand. That's profound to me. Then I went down to the potter's house, and behold, he wrought a work on the wheels. And the vessel that he made of clay was marred in the hand of the potter, so he made it again. Another vessel, as it seemed good to the potter to make it. Then the word of Jehovah came to me, saying, O house of Yisrael, cannot I do you as this potter? Saith Jehovah, behold, as the clay is in the potter's hand, so are you in my hand, O house of Yisrael. I'll do whatever I want, when I want, how I want, is what he's saying. And he surely will, and you and I won't say nothing. Nothing. The church won't say anything. Your brother, your sister won't say anything. The priest won't say anything. Your mother, your father won't say anything. If the divine says something, then he'll make sure that he will prove himself within the working of his hand. And we won't have nothing to say but, yes, sir. You go right on ahead. If you need to smash me down today and remold me, I guess I'm in your hands. You are the potter. I am the clay. Mold me and make me today. a beautiful vessel that will be used for thy glory in your will. At what instant I shall speak concerning a nation and concerning a kingdom to pluck up and to pull down and to destroy it. If that nation, and remember, I said today again that Jerusalem has the United States of America right in the middle of it. Okay? Oh, yes, Rael. If that nation against whom I have pronounced turn from their evil, I will bethink of the evil that I thought to do unto them. And at what instant I shall speak concerning a nation and concerning a kingdom to build and to plant it, if it do evil in my sight, that it obey not my voice, then I will bethink of the good wherewith I said I would benefit them. Now therefore go to speak to the men of Yehudah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, or the USA, saying, thus saith Jehovah, behold, I frame evil against you, and devise a device against you. Return ye now every one from his evil way, and make your ways and your doings good. Is what is happening to me, is it good that you do this to a daughter of Yisrael? I mean, judge yourself, oh brothers, oh sisters. Judge yourself, for you yourself are in the hand of the potter. And they said, there's no hope, but we will walk after our own devices. And we will everyone do the imagination of his evil heart. That's dangerous. That's a big fat issue right there. Therefore, thus saith Jehovah, ask ye now among the heathen, who has heard such a thing? The virgin of Yisrael hath done a very horrible thing. Yisrael, United States, right here. It's all connected. We go hand in hand, right? Doeth the snow of Lebanon ever quit the rock of the field? Or shall the cold flowing waters that come from another place be forsaken? Because my people have forgotten me, they have burned incense to vanity, and they have caused them to stumble in their ways from the ancient paths, to walk in paths in a way not cast up. He gave me a scripture today about, and said, cast up, and to come into the gates and not to give up and keep going until righteousness be filled here. To make their land desolate and a perpetual hissing. Every one that passeth thereby shall be astonished and wag his head. I will scatter them as with an east wind before the enemy, and I will show them the back and not the face in the day of their calamity. Then said they, come and let us devise devices against Jeremiah or the prophet. For the law shall not perish from the priest, nor counsel from the wise, nor the word from the prophet. Come and let us smite him with the tongue, and let us not give heed to any of his words. Give heed to me, O Jehovah, and hearken to the voice of them that contend with me. Shall evil be recompensed for good? For they have digged a pit for my soul. Remember that I stood before thee to speak good for them, and to turn away thy wrath from them. Therefore deliver up their children to the famine. Now this is huge. Okay, this is a warning, people. This is a warning. Okay? You have the right to do whatever you want. You have free will. At the same time, you're in the potter's hand. Okay? He sends the prophets to give a word, and he don't do anything until he's given the word to the prophet. And after it's gone forth, you have a decision to make. So listen what happens if you don't go the way of the Most High. It's horrible. It's horrible. And just like a good parent would look at their child and say, if you do that one more time, you're going to be punished for that. You're really going to be disciplined really hard. What good child who respects their parent would look and say, I fear you. I don't want to lose my rights for a week, or go stand in the corner, however it is you punish your children when they do some type of situation against what you would not want them to do, whatever. So here's the Most High giving a word to people who say, nah, we'll do whatever we want. We'll make our own devices. We don't care. You're going to get smashed. People are really going to get smashed. Therefore, deliver up their children to the famine and pour out their blood by the force of the sword. Remember, the divine said the sword's going to be coming, people. It really is, to the wicked. Choose what side you're going to be on, because the blessings are on the side of the Most High. Therefore, deliver up their children to the famine and pour out their blood by the force of the sword, and let their wives be bereaved of their children and be widows, and let their men be put to death. Let their young men be slain by the sword in battle. Let a cry be heard from their houses when thou shalt bring a troop suddenly upon them, for they have digged a pit to take me, and hid snares for my feet. This is what he's recompensing to those who do this to his people that are standing with him and giving the word that the divine has put in their mouth. Let me read it again. Let a cry be heard from their houses, just like they made from my house, when thou shalt bring a troop suddenly upon them, for they have digged a pit to take me, and hid snares for my feet. Yet, Jehovah, thou knowest all their counsel against me to slay me. Forgive not their iniquity, neither blot out their sin from thy sight, but let them be overthrown before thee. Deal thus with them in the time of thine anger. And let me just say that at the end of that reading, I had the Hebraic dictionary out here that I was using at the end of that second reading that's locked on my phone, and it said, burn with anger. People, you either going to fear the Most High, and you're going to quit oppressing people, and quit having envy with people who do the oppression, or this is your fate. And the divine loves you enough today to give a sobering word of warning against this nation that has oppressed his people. And even his own people have oppressed their brethren, because of stupid ignorance and because they were envious of things. It's dangerous. They were rotten to the core. The divine is in the business of giving a complete shalom in the land, not to bring a dark city and wickedness, and people putting their children through the fire and sacrificing them and hiding deaths that have taken place. And I already know about my children. I deserve communication about it. I deserve to have everything that was stolen from me to be given back to me. What will you do today? Will you continue with your devices? Because he said that he was going to burn those briars and thorns and those organizations that want to poke and be predators. He's burning them away. The wickedness is going away. This is the last judgment. And the divine's judging today. And he's bringing in a peace by this word on the Shabbat, so that people can choose him. Because if you're not, here comes the potter's hand. He's going to frame evil against you and devise a device against you. Return now, everyone, from his evil way, and make your ways and your doings good. So I just wanted to share this because this is what the divine gave me. When I went to open back up again, I just felt led to open up, and I was talking to him, and he answered me. I said, I need you to speak to me, and he did. And he's speaking to you too, because I'm speaking to the household, hopefully of faith. I know that there are some people watching me, and at their heart they hate it, but because of wicked devices or fear or anything else, it's time to get up now. It's time to burn this thing down to the ground. Those thorns and it's time to get that organization out of here. It's done nothing but going to bring evil. And those who want to stay on that side, they get the flood. Here comes the fire flood. Okay? It's coming with the force from the hand of the divine, people. It really is. It's time to stop it now. Okay? So all you that are in the upright and going to stand up and do the upright thing, I bless you today, and may Jehovah chase you down and give you blessings. But those of you who aren't, you've just heard the fate come straight from the prophet's mouth. Jeremiah was an awesome prophet. And it is the truth, and his word will not return void. It's time to get up and do the right thing now. Shalom.